Watching CBS 8 mornings at 6.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here at 6 a.m. I'm Chris Crow.
And I'm Vanessa Paz. Let's go ahead and toss it over to meteorologist Evan Irani with a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door on this Tuesday, our final days of 2025.
I know, and it seems like as
Crazy.
we go into 2026, we're just going to have day after day of what I'd call unsettled weather,
Right.
meaning we're not going to be seeing pouring rain, but it's also not going to be the sunny days.
Can't decide, right? Yeah.
No, Mother Nature has not made up her mind.
But this is good. We need the rain.
We need the rain. We could always
Yeah.
use it. Water year, always tends to see kind of a portion of the water year, especially in the winter season where we kind of go dry a bit. Last year we did so. We ended our water year last year with about 60% of what we would typically see, as opposed to the full 100% that we'd like to see. But here it is, that subtropical moisture already drifting in. What we have right now is cloud cover, but off the coast you can see just how many showers have started to arrive. Over the course of the day, we're not going to be watching for much in terms of wet weather, but that will really start up as we go into tomorrow. We still have Santa Anas today in the meantime that are going to take our temperatures into the above average range. Look at those widespread 70s. Normal for this time of year would be mid 60s. Instead, we'll be about 10 degrees, maybe even 15 degrees warmer than average. 77 for Escondido, Poway, 73 for Del Mar. Here's that live look outside at the clouds that have drifted in. So we do have that subtropical moisture on hand along with the breezy Santa Ana winds. And then we'll be gearing up for this. Take a look at that chance for rain climbing into New Year's Eve tomorrow, and then especially into New Year's Day. That's going to be the day of widespread moderate showers on Thursday. And then, as you can see, going into 2026, every single day through the middle of next week holds at least a 20% chance for rain in the forecast. We'll have more details in just a few minutes. And in the meantime, Vanessa and Chris, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Evan. And now over the Christmas holiday, we saw trees topple all over the county due to the heavy winds.
Like Evan mentioned, today is expected to be another windy day, and we're working for you, showing you how to check if a tree is at risk of falling. CBS 8's Regina Yurita is live in North Park with what you need to look out for. Hey, Regina.
Hey, good morning, Vanessa and Chris. Like you mentioned, hundreds of trees fell across San Diego as heavy rains and strong winds moved through the region. This is just one example right behind me. You can see the root of that tree came out of the ground as it toppled over. And as more winds and a chance of rain moves through San Diego, downed trees are raising safety concerns around the county.
Look for a tree that's leaning. I would look for cracks in the ground around the root system. That means that it's moving.
Last week in City Heights, a falling tree tragically killed a man, and in Cardiff, a Torrey pine crushed a parked car. The recent events has brought the conversation of learning more about how to identify at-risk trees. Experts say many of these incidents may be preventable by recognizing warning signs early. Horticulturist David Ross says residents should watch for trees that are leaning or showing cracks in the soil around the roots. These are signs that the tree may be shifting. Sparse leaves or insects damage can also weaken a tree over time. Branch structure matters too. Narrow branch angles are more likely to fail, especially during storms. Now, Ross recommends calling a certified arborist, not just a tree trimmer, if a tree appears unstable, especially after nearby construction may have damaged its roots. While pine and eucalyptus trees have been especially vulnerable, experts warn any tree can become dangerous without the proper care. So back out here, another way that you can also continue to prepare is knowing if you're insured, if recent events like these happen near your area or next to your property. We have a list of some of the learning things that you should know if this is a tree at risk. And we have that on our website. You can head to cbs8.com and click on this story. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Regina. For the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go, just download our free CBS 8 app from the Google Play or the Apple App Store on your phone. New this morning, San Diego police are asking for the public's help in finding an at-risk 30-year-old woman. Her name is Kellen McClure, and she goes by Kelly. She was last seen last night just before 10 o'clock in the 4800 block of 69th Place. This is a photo of her right there on your screen. She was last seen wearing a burgundy hoodie and blue pants. If you know anything about her whereabouts, you're asked to call San Diego police.
This morning, a homicide investigation is underway in Claremont. This after police say a man crashed his truck into a home where his wife was later discovered dead. It happened around 7:30 in the morning yesterday on Dakota Drive, just west of Claremont Drive. Neighbors reported hearing a loud crash, followed by a fire. The driver was detained at the scene and taken to the hospital. Court records show the woman had recently filed for a restraining order against her husband, and a judge ordered him to surrender his firearms. We spoke with some of the neighbors in the area.
Sad, and shocked feeling, we know he had some mental health issues that really needed to get taken care of, and obviously it didn't, so we're hoping he'd get the help that he needed, and then this just happened.
The cause of the woman's death has not yet been released. And this morning, we know the name of a motorcyclist killed in a crash near Balboa Park over the weekend. 51-year-old Timothy Scott Lohman died in a collision with an SUV on Pershing Drive around 1:40 in the morning on Sunday. He has been identified as a local musician. The San Diego Police Department is investigating the cause of the crash.
This morning, a man who was already accused of trying to stab a sheriff's deputy is facing charges for another alleged knife attack against a jail deputy. Authorities say 30-year-old Ernesto Olea has been charged with attempted murder of a peace officer. It stems from an alleged attack at the Otay Mesa detention facility back in October. He was previously arrested in connection to an alleged knife attack on a deputy in May. And this morning, President Trump is spending time at Mar-a-Lago, but is also focusing on foreign policy.
Yesterday, the president hosted Israel's prime minister for meetings leveling threats at Iran and Hamas. CBS's Kamal Afzali has more.
He can be very difficult on occasion, but you need a strong man.
There was barely a sign of any private disagreements as President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stood publicly united at Mar-a-Lago in their first meeting since the fall. The president lobbed threats at Iran over Israel's fears that Tehran could be rebuilding its ballistic missile stockpile.
If it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful.
The president threatened Hamas once again that if the group doesn't disarm, a key requirement to move his peace deal forward,
They'll be held to pay for them, and we don't want that.
Phase 1 also calls for Hamas to hand over the remaining Israeli hostages, alive or dead. But the body of Ran Gavili is still in Gaza. The leaders met with his family Monday. Meanwhile, Hamas says Israel is not upholding its end of Phase 1.
Israel's lived up to the plan, 100%.
The ceasefire has mostly held, but both sides accuse the other of violations. Humanitarian groups still warn of limits on the flow of aid into Gaza. Also Monday, President Trump was asked about a strike on an alleged drug site inside Venezuela.
It's a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats.
The president didn't say where or when or, crucially, who carried out the strike. The Pentagon has directed questions to the White House, though it did announce that the U.S. military struck another suspected drug boat in the Pacific, killing 2 people. Kamal Afzali, CBS News, London.
And yesterday's boat strike was the 30th launched by the Trump administration against an alleged drug target in the region this year. So far, more than 100 people have been killed.
All right, 6:08 is the time on your Tuesday, and we got some active weather on the way, but yesterday and the entire weekend was really nice.
Honestly, it's kind of like the busy season
for
those meteorologists and forecasters, right? I mean, you guys are getting everything from rain, Santa Ana's, it's warming up. Evan, it sort of seems like Mother Nature, as you said, can't decide.
Yeah, it's
can't make up her mind.
Constant push and pull, and I mean, looking at what we saw last week, we had plenty of rain across the state of California, a lot more to the north of us, and then what do you know, as that storm got to San Diego, it dwindled to its lowest levels. So lightest accumulations across the entirety of the state were in San Diego County. It seems like for this storm ahead, it's going to take a little bit of a different path. It's coming from the southwest of us, so as it makes its way in our direction, we're kind of the first spot that it lands on, which leads us to believe that going into Thursday, we'll get our heaviest accumulations. But in the meantime, we are really mild out there right now. We've got those clouds drifting in because of how close by that trough of low pressure is. Sunrise is at 6:51, still about 40 minutes out. So we have that combination of both mid-level and high-level clouds that should make for a gorgeous sunrise view. In just a few minutes, we'll start to see some of those twilight views come into play. But our rain chances then climb really steadily as we get to tomorrow, New Year's Eve, and then in particular New Year's Day. After New Year's Day, really kicking off the start of January, you've got that daily chance for rain above 20% through the middle of next week. And you can see why. This is what we have tomorrow, lighter bands, all green, no yellow, orange. But that yellow and orange does start to come into play as we go into Thursday, which is why we call for a weather impact alert day on Thursday. That's the most widespread rain is on New Year's Day, really ideally after sunrise. Going into Friday, we'll get a little bit of a break, but still unsettled across Southern California. Saturday could be another opportunity for some very light showers. Sunday seems dry, and then it looks like as we go into Tuesday of next week, we'll get more showers on hand. So here's the thing. These models can and will change day to day moving forward, but they seem to point to Thursday being the most intense day, and then every other day kind of being a wash. Unsettled is the best way to describe it, in that I wouldn't put the umbrella away too soon. Wouldn't put the jackets with the hood away either, as the law will help you out if you're spending prolonged periods of time outside. Wind advisory is in effect through 1 p.m. today. That's why temperatures are in the 70s this afternoon. Enjoy the warmer than normal temperatures, because we are going to start to see these winds die down tonight, and that'll allow for a cooling trend for the days ahead. Let's check in on traffic. Right now, it's still quiet out there. Northbound 805, this is at Home Avenue. Still very quiet as we kick off the morning. Volume is starting to pick up. We're going to start to see some of that light come on through over the next half hour or so, which should help drivers out. No fog out there, and also still very few people going to work and to school, so pretty minimal as far as your drive times go. San Ysidro Port of Entry is going to take you 100 minutes to get across, so about an hour 40. Be prepared for a little bit of a wait. Might want to switch over to Otay Mesa. Port of Entry there, 20 minutes. You can save about an hour and 20 in total by taking the Otay route instead.